Good, good afternoon, my great people. Welcome to today's live broadcast. My name is Simba Mlawatu, and this is Simba Mlawatu TV. Follow us on YouTube channel at Simba Mlawatu TV. On our TikTok channel, also follow us in our Simba Mlawatu TV. Today we are here. We want to discuss why many young people choose to enter job markets instead of continuing with higher education. Is it a matter of survival, opportunity, or changing priorities? So we are here, and I'm not alone. We are with a great-minded person. Let's discuss. And the big question is money the biggest reason why young people leave school early? That's the question we'll be asking ourselves today. And without any further ado, let's dive into it. And welcome my fellow who will introduce himself.
Okay, thank you, Bwana Simba Mlawatu. Um, okay, my name is Elvis Madola, and what I can say about that, the reason as to why many students, let's say youth, let's say youth, they usually don't feel like going back to school with a tertiary education. It's because many youth really want to be, independent. Wanataka kujitegemea. So when you tell a student who has finished form 4 kuendelea kwenda kwa shule and akona kazi mahali, they'll always choose to be independent kwa sababu wameona kama maisha ya shule ilikuwa so tiresome. Mara unaambiwa enda huku, sijui fanya hivi. But now when you have your own job, unajua uko independent sasa kivyako, hautegemei mzazi. Unaona? That is my biggest my answer. And also I will say wachana hata na financial, kuna watu wengine wanasikianga tu kama walichoka na maisha ya shule, unaona, in high school. Sasa ukimwambia arudi tena shule, akisikia ule mtindo ulikuwa unaendelea huko, and you want him to continue with the same things that are going to happen to him or her, heri tu aende shule. It's always not about financial instabilities. Sometimes ni watu tu wamechoka na shule. Most of students, my youth, yeah.
Maybe this question, I feel like we discuss in this manner, in different voices. Like first, maybe in a shoe of parents, students, maybe youth. Labda tukianza na those who left in school ama waliacha shule, they drop out in school early. What do you think about the students?
The reason as to why they dropped out.
Yes.
Okay. In high school ama in
Okay,
college.
most probably primary, high school, maybe.
Okay, in primary, the reason as to why many students they usually drop out, it is always not about the finance. Let's say the examples of the places where we live. It is always not about finance. Mostly, it's peer pressure. Peer pressure for becoming independent, and peer pressure for maybe the drug and substance abuse. Many youth, we are not actually saying against using drugs, taking alcohol, but the rate of consumption is always high to our students, and that's why most of them they usually drop out. They feel like they need to be free, so they have to drop out. Maybe they feel like when they leave out of the school, they'll have to work so that they get the drugs, ban the alcohol, and now they drop out. They start using the riding the bicycles, which is a form of way of living.
Maybe, and those students, maybe who they are still in school but they are struggling.
Struggling.
Maybe school fees ni shida kupatikana, or maybe more probably like a big percent is issues to do with money of school fees. Let's say so. But yes, we understand there can be maybe apart from school fees, there are other problems which can make a student maybe is still in school but still struggling. But a big percent is all about school
Finance, yeah.
finances. So what can you say maybe about those students who are still in school but they are still struggling? Maybe financially hana mzazi, maybe.
What I can tell them,
Right.
eh?
Maybe what is your view about that?
Okay, my view about those students struggling,
Yes.
mostly it's not all brains are the same. Sio brains za watu zinatoshana. So many students are struggling, yes. They're struggling with their education, and they also, on the other hand, they're struggling with the finance. Just do your best. That is the only way that people are going to be great. Just do your best. Si lazima ukue upate ile kiasi ambayo ina relate na mwenzako. When you're working, just do what you are able to do, and unajua at least it's going to push you to somewhere.
Maybe when we discuss now, if we leave alone now the angle of students, now we measure, like we discuss the angle now where parents or guardians are involved. Maybe the school fees, it might be a big reason to why now parents wanna decide kwamba like now the children, there's no need for further education to instead ile amesoma maybe probably
Huyo ni mzazi anaambia mwanafunzi.
yeah, okay, maybe according to how a parent might reason to why he feels like looking for a job, maybe starting a business to earn money, to start earning money than to continue education. Now maybe school fees is an issue. More probably utakuta most parents they struggle. Utakuta like mzazi hana, the parents jobless na kuna mtoto shule. So anasomesha mtoto kufika let's say form 4. Anasema anamwachia hapo, anasema sasa basi hapo kuanzia hapo mwenyewe
jitegemea.
Yes, no, which I don't see a problem because maybe mzazi akikusomesha kufika form 4, kuendelea university sio lazima awe mzazi anakusomesha.
That's right.
Yeah, but I feel in most cases what happens is, yes, many parents have ambition maybe to their children, like anasema mtoto akifika kiwango fulani amsaidie afike aende higher education level, asimwachie maybe form 4. But now unakuta school fees issues, ameuza shamba, ana shamba ile anaweza uza ama
aliuza akiwa high school
au aliuza kama ana nini wakati alikuwa high school. Na hapo na parents uncle, you also find that there's home responsibilities because you know a parent jukumu lake si kusomesha tu mtoto ama wanafunzi. There are some other responsibilities zile zimemgoja. Number one, kutengeneza boma, na labda pengine nikikuwa more specific like nafaa tengeneza boma in a way that kwanza kuwe na nyumba, kuwe na chakula, kuna mavazi, yeye, watoto, mke, watu wengine pia. Again, kitu kingine kinachangia is cultural
norms.
Yeah, you know, this is time whereby parents should do away with culture, some of cultures, more especially kikuja education. Unajua more the reason for education ni kutoa mtu ujinga. Education is not about scoring an airplane or doing, but the main purpose of education ni kutoa mtu ujinga. This notion ambayo imekuwa na the Gen X ile ya kusema they don't value much education, more especially on one gender. More maybe a child has a disability. That notion pia linachangia like like cultural norms zinachangia parents maybe someone to decide kwamba better atafute job kuliko kutafuta kwenda shule. Now there's another angle which we need also to discuss about this issue. Now this issue is about teachers and school admin. According to you, maybe how could you discuss it?
About what?
Teachers and school administrators. Maybe the head teachers or guidance, the guidance, let's say the GNC, the C partners such as maybe attendance issues, maybe performance dropout inaweza changia mwanafunzi pia wakati anaona
hiyo ndio nilikuwa naongelea kwa ile upande wa high school. Unapata tunaongelea high school ama college?
High school.
Kwa hiyo base ya question yako.
High school.
High school basically nikiongelea kwa administration, labda kuna indiscipline. Haya, mtoto anajaribu kupass lakini ameshindwa tu na kila mtu. Unaona? Ametry this time lakini anaona tu bado yeye ako wa mwisho. Unaona? So mostly hiyo inachangia mtu ku drop out. Ama ako indiscipline hiyo shule. Umempatia suspension this term. Next time akamwambia please usiingie kwa makosa, akapiga labda mwalimu ama akafanya other cases. Ama unajua ile high school watu walikuwa wanaruka kwa fence. Sijui kama unakumbuka hiyo.
Yeah.
Unakumbuka kwa fence. Labda wewe mwanafunzi aliruka kwa fence. Na anajua vizuri it's against the school's protocol. So that is another thing. Wamejaribu kila saa. Akaandikiwa ile form ya ameexpeliwa. Na unajua expeliwa you cannot be taken again to another government school. Itabidi uende private, unaona? Na labda kwa hizo private zenye alienda za kule kwao nyumbani, pale yako area ya kwao, they are not performing well, they are not even strict with their rules. So, huyo mwanafunzi ataenda hapo. Leo aende, kesho asiende, leo aende. Eventually he's out.
Yeah, and then also another reason to why nowadays I can say that youth prefer to have a job than to continue exploring higher in education is maybe limited access to colleges and universities. You know, sometimes it's a challenge also which normally affects us, we as maybe Kenyans. Sometimes there is no space at all. There's that limited space when we come to colleges and universities. Again, a child or a student can decide or can sit down and calculate the cost of university, maybe the school fees. Anaona kuwa hii pesa ni mingi sana. There's no need of wasting hii pesa yote. So instead of wasting hiyo pesa kupeleka shule, anachukua hiyo pesa like anaamua kae chini atafute pesa, aanzishe kitu ambayo itamsaidia. Those are also reasons. Again, utakuta ni long distance learning institution in rural areas. This issue affects a lot of people who stay in rural areas. Na I can say it goes hand in hand with poverty because there are some people ambao wanaishi rural areas but they are capable, they have money, but there are some people ambao they stay in rural areas na pia hawana do, so inakuwa difficult again for such a student maybe kukuwa motivated na kuendelea na kusoma kuliko kutafuta job. Maybe I may ask you, are we losing talents simply because education is out of reach?
Are we losing talent?
Yes, are we losing talents simply because education is out of reach?
No, let me say talents are there.
Yes.
But you know, in Kenya, the talent is not really emphasized on. Kenyan people believe that education, when they high primary, when get high school, when get in secondary, is the best way which you can be able to better yourself, be successful. Yes, we have talents. We have very different people who can play football, who can play rugby, who can play volleyball, but those kinds of sports that are really not emphasized even by the government or any other platforms. But now we believe na ni kuanzia chini, hata sisi tunaamini kuwa the education is the only way, is the route to success. There's no other way.
I think that notion should stop
Yeah.
because
Should stop.
if you use a mind ile knowledge ulipata shule, you will die poor. I'm sorry to say that, but that is the truth of the matter. But let me tell you or let me give you again, or let me further dwell to why youth prefer to maybe to just get a job than learning. Again, we have this losing trust in education job connection because graduates struggle to find work. Graduates, you will find someone graduated as I don't know, as a doctor, lakini sasa ndio apate kazi yenyewe, na for others learn a lesson from those. You'll hear people saying kwamba hey, angalia nani alisoma lakini wapi, akona madegree. Maybe a question to ask a youth, why study for years?
When you have no guarantee that you're going to get that
Yeah.
job.
Why?
Yeah.
Also, education can feel too theological or not skill-based. Because remember, skills that we acquire in school, you can't apply those skills. They are not applicable skills when it comes now to real life. Now, again, here we ask a question. Do we need education to reform too much real work skills?
Do we need it? Yeah. So how are we going to learn again? Tutajieleza aje? I think it's education. Tunataka tujue kwanza kupitia hiyo hayo masomo kuhusu hiyo that's something we want to better in ourselves with. Ndio at least we are going to. Sasa kama hujajifunza na hujasomea, how will you know that? The only problem is that tunasoma but there's no guarantee that we are going to get jobs. Hiyo ndio shida. Lakini you have to learn. Let me just say that we should learn, we should be able to go to school and educate ourselves in order to open our minds to open other businesses or open other forums. But let us not have that such mentality that we are going to learn and get those jobs. Let's just learn to open our own jobs. Okay?
Yeah, my reason number 4, maybe I can say uh, the youth of today, they desire more independence and fast success. Why do I say so? I say so because youth wants financial freedom early. Yes, for me, like let's say me, my dream is to be maybe somebody whom is my mind, maybe I'm thinking of, like I've said my vision, I want to be this and this when I'm still young, so that I can acquire as much wealth as I am still young. Again, there's social media shows entrepreneurs succeeding young. Those are the young people now, they are coming up because of the technologies and whatever. Again, many prefer practical skill, technology, trade, businesses, and also because um, the life we live right now is all about practicals. sio mambo na theory. So someone can decide not just instead of yeye kukaa chini anasoma kifungo vitabu just to find a job, hiyo kitu practical ana execute the skills directly instead of kwenda kujisumbua ang'ang'ana na kitu yenye haitawezekana. I also have a question about that. Is the new generation more interested in the skills than certificates?
They're interested in skills. That's why we are saying more youth want to get employed, get the skills rather than the certificate. Because many of the youth, they don't want to go to school. They want that skill but they don't want to go to school. So that's why unaona kuna mamekanika hapo wamejaa kabla waende shule. Kuna watu wa driving wanaendesha magari kwa barabara lakini hawana certificate ya hizo course. Yeah.
Maybe what do you think can be a solution of all this?
I think the solution, this is my own opinion, the solution is at least to create the job opportunities for youth. Because someone I learned from almost 10 years, then he's going to stay for another 5 to 10 years, still looking for that job. Why? Why was he in that school when there's no such job opportunity for that course? So they need to create a job opportunity for the youth so that they were motivated to go to school because they know at least they're going somewhere. Instead of going to school, then you're staying home for another 10 years. See, that is waste of time. Then unapata kazi when you are maybe 30, 40, you stay like 10 years there. After 10 years, you're supposed to retire. And that's why you are seeing many elders, they don't want to retire because they have only stayed there for a few years and you're telling them to go home. Where are they going and they only got this like a decade ago?
Yeah, also, or maybe the government should maybe create or develop more vocational and technical trainings.
Yes.
Again, to ensure there's affordable and flexible education options. Sio lazima mtu atukazie hesabu, tufanye hesabu na mimi mwenyewe hesabu siwezi kufanya. Again, the government should ensure there's career guidance in schools where we guide those learners on how exactly happens. Again, to have entrepreneurship and I can say entrepreneurship programs and support for the youth entrepreneurs. That's all I can say about maybe there can be a possible solutions for about the topic of today. Maybe if you have anything else to add on.
Yeah. This goes to our youth, me being included. Guys, let's just work hard. Let's not go to school because we know we are going somewhere. Okay, kama baba yako ako na kazi yenye unajua vizuri ukishamaliza utaenda ni sawa. Just have that mentality. But for us who our fathers are not in maybe the government or in other institutions, no, let's work hard in order to open our new job opportunities. Open for the coming generation and also this generation. Open new job opportunities, not to go and get employed. That is my only, that's the only thing I can say for now.
Yeah, choosing work over education is not always a lack of ambition. Sometimes it's survival, sometimes it's strategy. The real question is how do we create systems where young people don't have to choose between learning and earning? That's the big question we are asking ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our end of the discussion. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, like and follow us to all our social medias, Simba Mlawatu TV, YouTube, and TikTok. Thank you so much. Welcome another day.
Yeah, bye bye for now.